him off wonderfully. Outstanding pass there coming in from Relating Waves. Seiko just chilling up the other end, passed it back to Wave. On the open net, crossbar down.
Still air doink there from Seiko as well. Look at this read. Ready? Boop. Towards Relating Wave. Clean finish, arriving there with the Octane off the crossbar. 1-0 Endpoint. Really playing on the demo message. Seiko air dribbles over the top. I mean, every time you think that Vitality are in charge, Seiko gets the ball and they look like they're in so much danger, but those passes are going to give them goals.
Wonderful shot there from Caleb on the open net. As Ferry passes it down, Alpha has one man in mind. Removes him from the pitch. No pass.
There was Caleb arriving in, but now Alpha has to defend against Relating Wave. The air dribble bump is there. It's good, is it? Yes, eventually, thanks to Seiko.
Relating Wave, taking that ball down, slowing it, going for one touch, and then the air dribble bump. It doesn't go in off him. Instead, Seiko has to squeeze it bottom corner.
Caleb's going for a bump on Seiko. The ball somehow doesn't manage to worm its way in. And that, I think, is going to touch the floor on a very, very high-quality opening game, but it's Endpoint that take it.
Endpoint just being able to snuff out those goosey with it.
Making the most of the respect that he has as well. Seiko goes for it. They just assume he's going to get it. Just like we assume Relating Wave is going to get this. He doesn't. Falls to Met Sonorous, and it's 1-0 Endpoint.
That's a completely open passage of play for Relating Wave, though. Nobody there. He doesn't have to score it. It'd be better if he did. But ultimately, Caleb's there for a decent block. Met just has to move up to tap in.
Seiko just, as ever, has complete control of the situation.
Just staying so on that ball the entire time leaves Seiko with the possession. And Endpoint getting themselves a goal. Wave can get it this time and just taps it around all three of them. That was Vitality in such close proximity that all of them become
effortlessly. K-Dot will be there. There's a slight miss from him. What a touch that is from Met Sonorous to avoid the on-rushing Vitality defense.
Open.
And then now Seiko has all the time in the world, and Stumpy, Endpoint have warmed up.
Since kickoff, K-Dot was in zero good positions. He moved too far forward. It then led to that passage of play. He got a really clutch sort of save where moving up the pitch. Instead, Endpoint very realistically look at that ball and say, oh, it might fall favorably to us. We'll have one contingency plan and one aggressive player. And they do so. The excellence that comes in from Vitality, it does make up for that one goal. But I want to see more of this, where Vitality put on the effort and they outspeed. The pre-jump from Alpha is perfect.
Relating Wave squeezes out the danger, but Vitality are looking much better yet again. But until Seiko gets one opportunity, and of course he takes it.
There is no way Seiko decides to do that with the pre-flip onto the flip reset and rockets it off the crossbar. Gorgeous right now. Endpoint are outplaying Vitality, and there's going to be Vitality waiting on some of these passes, waiting on the errors that do ultimately that they will come in at these points. Seiko missing it at the end of the day, and Metza being left on his own is a fundamental problem for Endpoint.
Being punched in the difference now, grinding them out. If they can get one more, things can get very, very interesting, but Alpha has to make sure he's not tackled by Seiko. Again, the respect that he has for him. Seiko's just positioning, gets Endpoint that goal.
Yeah, Alpha making that.
What are you gonna do?
Alpha making the mistake and just having Seiko there, being that nuisance player of like.
Lands in here that the last 15 seconds or so could have led to a couple of goals, but just Relating Wave, cutting across, making sure that nothing is gonna happen. Endpoint, they're backing each other up, they're supporting each other, and it's really paying dividends for them. They're looking just as good as they looked in the full split.
Yeah, Vitality have now concluded their timeout. We are in game number 3. Endpoint lead 2-0. You can see their blue pips up at the top. But pipping the first goal is Vitality.
Precisely what Vitality needed, the start that they were desperate for, and it comes off the back of not only a Seiko mechanical error, but credit to Fairy Peak. He saw it coming, he gathered.
That aggression from Vitality, Cole, it is starting to return.
Oh, but as soon as Seiko beats a Vitality member for pace, look at the panic, look at the finish, it's 1-1.
It's over a minute gone, and Endpoint get their first. Great pass in the center from Seiko, but the fact that 2 Vitality members try and challenge for it, that's not what you need.
So close there. I genuinely thought that Seiko was going to somehow fashion a way to flip reset that one goalwards. He might score this one. It's coming forward, and it's 2-1.
Look at how scared K-Dot played on this as well. K-Dot went up so early, just trying to cover Seiko, so he goes, stay on the ground then, lol. I'll just send it low. I'm just going to send that so low and so ultimately with a vital interception.
Relating Wave has done that so many times, right? When Vitality is starting to get something mechanical going, but the passes are finding each other. Metzonoris gets dunked by K-Dop. 2s across the board.
Great chance there for K-Dop just to work his way into the play, and he does so. Guessing where Metza has to put the ball, because he's jumped and he's flipped, he's only K-Dop up in an awkward position. Wave can go for the double. Forgoes going for it instead. Vitality just looks so awkward, and Metzonoris with a goal.
I'm sure that, I think it was Alpha could have got a second touch here. He gets the 50-50 against Seiko. Oh, and he just lands to the side of the ball.
Yeah.
It was slightly unlucky there from him, but Metzonoris
now onto that right wall. K-Dop with a lovely pass back to K-Dop. On target, relating Wave the wall again.
It's still up though. Alpha 54 to the backboard. Fairy peeks underneath it. He tries to slam it home, and Metzonoris does what he's always done and keeps that ball out of his goal.
That pressure from Vitality.
Wide.
Yeah, just a little bit too awkward on that, especially with the defender coming in. Seiko up for one fake, and it's gone in!
Oh, that's so clever! That is so clever, Seiko. Never looked from the angle I was at like he was hitting it, but look at the carnage he caused on Fairy Peak, K-Dop, and Alpha. He's doing so much work right now for Team Endpoint. Metzonoris, 57 years old. The length of time he's been in this esport, and he still sees the game as well as anyone. Is that one finding his way in? Yes.
Relating Wave, bottom left, and it's the second goal for Endpoint. Fairy Peak and K-Dop looking lost on that back wall. There were no chance that being an incredible performance for Endpoint. Get your brooms out, ladies and gentlemen. It is a sweep.
Endpoint make it into the top 4, and it's a Seiko masterclass in attack. What a performance from him in particular, but Metzonoris and Relating Wave as well, Stumpy. They make Seiko's job so much easier.
Just an